My boyfriend brought his best friend on our road trip and she spent the entire time trying to break us up. So far on the trip I had already caught my boyfriend and his best friend cuddling each other in the backseat while it was my turn to drive, so I was freshly suspicious of them. I tried to drive as long as I could so I wouldn't fall asleep and leave them alone with each other. But eventually, I drove for so long and drank so many energy drinks that I just crashed in the backseat and slept for almost half a day while my boyfriend drove. When I woke up I tried not to make it obvious that I wasn't sleeping anymore so I could try and see how they were acting when they thought I wasn't looking. To no surprise at all I opened my eyes to see his best friend playing with my boyfriend's hair as he drove. If I hadn't been watching her hit on my boyfriend for literally the entirety of our relationship, maybe this would have looked innocent to me, but I knew exactly what she was trying to do. Suddenly a new thought tore through my head: why the hell was he letting this happen? I realized that I had just about enough of the both of them, and that both of these people obviously resented me in their own way. His best friend hated me for taking away her friend and my boyfriend obviously didn't care for me if he was continuing to place his best friend's feelings over my comfortability again and again. I laid there in the back seat still pretending to be asleep while I watched her play with his hair as if they were the happiest couple in the world. To my absolute horror, I realized that she was squirming a little bit in her seat and making these soft, suppressed moaning sounds. That's when I saw my boyfriend turn to look at her and ask her if she liked that. That's when I realized that my boyfriend had his arms stretched over the car's console and was touching her between her legs. I could have grabbed the wheel right then and crashed the car to take us all out. With how emotionally devastated I felt seeing that. But I just sat up straight quickly and asked them if they were having fun. His beach best friend just started laughing and my boyfriend looked startled and started stuttering out excuses. As I mentioned in my first post, we had taken my car for the road trip since the entire trip had been my idea. I yelled at my boyfriend to pull the car over right now and for both of them to get the hell out. He kept trying to tell me to calm down while his best friend called me crazy and said not to get mad that he wanted her more than he wanted me. I just ignored both of them and as soon as the car pulled over, I started hurling all of their bags out on the side of the road. This is when they both started to actually freak out and started to beg me not to leave them there in the middle of nowhere. We really were in the middle of nowhere too. We had driven halfway through Montana, and I had woken up when we were in the middle of a long stretch of rural road with no signposts or buildings in sight. I ignored their pleading and I threw out every last thing that they had in my car onto the side of the road, no matter what they said or how hard they cried. When they realized that I was 100% serious, they started screaming at me, saying that their phones were both going to die soon and that I couldn't just abandon them there. I told them that I was sure they could get through anything if they had each other, since their bond was so strong, and I sped off, leaving them on the other side of the country. Honestly, I know that it was an extreme reaction, but I don't give a damn. I should have cut my bum a boyfriend and his best friend out of my life ages ago, but at least I got to watch that smug smile slide off of his best friend's face before I drove away.